Who do you think it was that you got into before everybody else got into? You feel
Everybody?
like you got Kanye?
I mean, Kanye, yeah, but I'm from Chicago, so like if you lived in that shit during those days, he was buzzing. You know what I'm saying? Like, who probably didn't blow, but Bum J was that also in Chicago where it was like he was buzzing. Like if you lived in Chicago during those days, then you knew Goon Squad. You knew certain, like, you know what I'm saying? There are movements from certain places.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Well, there are definitely Warped Tour bands that were like popular.
Oh, but I remember Warped Tour.
Yeah, they were popular in that group before they became hugely popular. Like Newfound Glory or like those. What are the guys that sing "Shipping Up to Boston"? They're like Irish rock band. You know what I'm talking about? The song from The Departed. The da na 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 na.
But I don't know. You know what I will say is that like rock alternative I got into, like I fucked with it for a while, but I've never been like a rock fan. Like I don't know if I've like would honestly go to a rock concert and be like, I know this one band. Like I would like to have one band that I'm like, I really fucking connect with this one rock band, but I don't know if rock was just ever something that I ever like got into.
I like 90s rock a lot. I mean, I knew who Sublime was before the lead singer died, and the lead singer died before they got super famous.
Okay.
So that was one of my
so
sister's first album. What?
Joke. That was a dark joke. So you're a suspect.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a 7-year-old suspect.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, I had No Doubt's like first album. I had Weezer Blue on tape.
No, you didn't. But Weezer was out since the 80s.
Yeah, no, Weezer had. I think Pinkerton was before the Blue album.
Wasn't Weezer out in the 80s?
I don't think so.
I think Weezer's been out since like the fucking 80s.
I
bro.
thought Weezer's first album was. I don't know. First album could have been Blue.
If I'm right, and I know Weezer was out in the 80s, I'm gonna really look at you like you're not a real rock historian, and you rubbing me the wrong way, fam.
They're
92.
Yeah, that's their demo. Is 92. So,
fam, I was out here. I know more about Weezer than you. Weezer had
their first album was Blue Album, not Pinkerton. So I did have their first album on tape. So that's pretty new, but I think Buddy Holly was already on the radio. You know, I just a Buddy Holly. That was like a pretty fucking popular song.
Damn, I never heard it.
No?
Nah, man.
And a Mary Tyler Moore. No, I don't care what they say about us anyways. No?
Nah.
Wow. Really? Weezer, guys? All right, well, I guess I knew Weezer.
But you might know it because you guys, okay, so as somebody that worked in radio, Bobby, because Bobby's here, and Bobby is from California, even though he's from Oakland. As somebody that worked in radio, California and a lot of their markets don't have actual urban radio. They have what they call rhythmic, which is different. It's slightly different, but it's called rhythmic. And so I think that we didn't have, I don't know if we had in Chicago like pure rock, unless you listen to a rock station, like unless you were like, I'm looking for rock. So other than that, I just don't feel like we got like.
You don't think in the 90s you listen, like I feel like alternative rock was so big in the 90s.
You just named a song that you said was pretty big. I'd never heard it.
But like Nirvana and like bands like that.
But those bands weren't like just as like.
Alanis Morissette, No Doubt.
So I know all of their names because of TRL. I don't know any of their records.
Oh, really?
How would I know their records? They don't play it on my radio.
Ironic. Isn't it ironic? You know that Alanis Morissette song?
No.
It's like rain. Really? You don't know Ironic by Alanis Morissette? It's like a huge
I feel like you
hit.
might be singing it wrong, but I also.
On the wedding day, it's a free ride.
Ooh,
when
flat.
You're already paid.
Say that much.
It's good advice.
No, it feels like Six Flags. It feels like it feels like something I'm familiar with, like a era. Like, but like to me, that era was Dawson's Creek or like all the Felicity. Like all those bands were breaking through those shows, in my opinion, at that time. I didn't know those bands. I just knew those as theme songs. Like when those records would blow up, I was like, I know that theme song. I didn't know it was a fucking band that was for real. Like,
yeah, like Gin Blossoms or anything like that. Or like,
who was that? I know the song. I know the TV show Blossom.
No, there's all these like kind of like guitar-y bands too in that era as well, like Sister Hazel and like I don't really expect you to know Sister Hazel.
You know who I probably knew first, and again, it's just because like Chicago does, even though it's like the third biggest city in America, it operates as a small like city, like a small town. Like you kind of like you're very home based of like we support our own at home if we can. Fall Out Boy is
really
from Chicago, so I knew some of their records because it was like, oh, they're from here. And like Pete Wentz owned a bar in Chicago. It was like a whole thing. So like
Yeah.
You kind of knew that, but I hate it because Rob plays a song on Ridiculousness to start every day that I learned in the last 6, 7 months, 8 months that is a very popular.
What is it?
Oh fuck! And I think we just looked up the name of him, and it was a one-hit wonder. It was a smash record. It's I almost want to fucking call him just to be like, I'm gonna text him, say, what's the fucking rock record you play every episode?
Because then I think there was a rock era as well where, like, I don't know if I ever heard like Dashboard Confessional on the radio, but they were like a hugely popular band.
That's not a hugely pop.
Well,
hugely
in different
Dashboard Confession. But you do this, Chris.
They were like a Blink-182.
We get into me and Chris
band.
get into it all the time about this shit because he will hit me with like they were hugely fucking popular, like he did Daft Punk. Tell me they were huge, and I know Daft Punk. They're a fucking big group to me, but they still only had like what 3
Daft
big
Punk,
records.
I think it was bigger than Dashboard Confessional.
They are.
Yeah. What I'm saying is they could tour America and sell out stadiums. You know,
stadiums?
Maybe not stadiums, but they could sell
fam.
out venues. You know?
Dashboard Confession.
Yeah, for sure.
What are venues?
They're like they're like an emo band, so it's like that whole emo.
I get it because
whole
it be rappers that I don't
generation.
necessarily listen to that I'm like, but that fan that fucking following is a cult fucking following that truly believe in that person. So I definitely understand that it's a whole thing. But when y'all just feel like you be capping on me a little bit when you be like, what, you don't know them, biggest band of all time.
Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco are
Huge,
like
huge.
big ass bands, right?
Huge.
So what I'm saying is that these bands kind of led the way for them to be in the popular place.
Ooh.
Because there are all these Warped Tour bands that were still kind of an underground
So
scene.
you saying they are Kid Cudi for Travis Scott?
Maybe.
Okay.
But Kid Cudi's, I still think even
He
more
said paved the
popular.
way. Okay,
more
yeah.
popular than these Warped Tour bands were. These Warped Tour bands were popular in their little circles, but then they started coming out with 1 or 2 hits like Good Charlotte or like fucking Newfound Glory or I don't know if MXPX had any big mainstream hits.
Who ran the Warped Tour? I mean, the Warped Tour for me is equivalent to what the Scream Tour was for black people growing up. Scream Tour was all these different groups. B2K, it was Bow Wow, it was Chris Brown. It was like anybody that you would scream for, all the Fandemonium, all the little girls would go crazy. We'd go to these concerts. So like that was what like broke like R&B and hip hop artists were like you tried to go on the Scream Tour if you were a young artist trying to like, you know, blow up. I remember hearing of the Warped Tour, but was it done by fucking Mountain Dew or somebody?
By Vans.
Vans, okay.
So it's like skate culture. It's a lot of skate culture, and I think somebody I'm sure is going to know the history of this better than me, but I'm pretty sure that kind of that like those record labels a lot of the times got popular because they got in skate videos, and all these vans across the country are showing skate videos all the time. Like in the 90s, you just show up at a Vans to watch the skate videos, and the soundtrack is a lot of Warped Tour bands. So that whole entire kind of echo chamber is where they live.
But again, that's again California. Because Vans
True.
wasn't a thing in Chicago. We didn't even hear of Vans until fucking until the Pack came out and said, "Got my Vans on with the little sneakers." We didn't know what Vans were. Like we didn't rock Vans. Like if you
the bands from Tony Hawk Pro Skater, there's a lot of like crossover.
Yeah.
Right.
We knew
like,
that. We knew Tony Hawk.
You kind of knew those. Like there's a whole era of that music that like from Tony Hawk.
I didn't know him still, but I get it because it's the same thing as NBA Live or NBA Live in those days. Like you would hear of rappers like the Cool Kids had a big record. They had Black Mags that blew up on NBA Live, and people knew that record from NBA Live. So I get it 1,000%.
Yeah.
I just when I played Tony Hawk, I was focused on them tricks. I don't know if I was like, if you played it though for me, if I played it again, I would definitely like hear melodies and be like, I know this fucking record.
For sure.
I just don't know who this is or.
Yeah, I don't know if I mean the reason I know why a lot of them are is because of Tony Hawk, you know?
Okay.
But then I might go, okay, who's Goldfinger? And now let me find out let me buy a Goldfinger CD or download some Goldfinger songs, and okay, now I know 1 or 2 more songs, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, but that's a whole echo chamber, same way DJs hunting for records at, you know, Bay Area record stores is like a whole echo chamber is a whole scene in a way.
No, I was just wondering, man. I'm waiting on Rob to let me know. He might not. I think he's on vacation. He hasn't been on vacation in a while. But it's a record that's like fucking hugely popular, and I was like, I just like I would remember the melody, but I was like, I've never like really listened to this record, and it was just for them every time. Like this is the biggest, but they couldn't even name the group. That's what was another thing. They couldn't even name the group, and then when they heard the name of the group, they were like, "What?"
Damn, now I really want to know what it is.
Part of me wish I got into more rock.
I was listening to 1950s country this week.
Okay, that sounds racist as shit. You don't have to go on no further.
Well,
1950s country?
Well, you've been talking about how country are like
God
good
damn.
storytelling writers.
I bet these stories were dark, but continue.
All the stories are like kind of like violent and like
I was just going to say, how do country singers not get arrested more for domestic violence? And all they hits back in the days, it was just about beating their wives and stuff.
Or I killed somebody and then I was on the run and then I killed somebody again.
Yeah.
There are these epic like
but you know
stories.
No, but fuck that. You know why I'm going to say fuck that, Chris? Because you made me just think about that shit. In hip hop, if rappers are writing about stuff like that, they investigate them.
I was thinking the same
thing.
And
they arrest them and shit. They put them in prison and all kind of shit. They investigate and they'll put stuff on them because they're like, you wrote about this thing. Why would you say that? You indicted yourself. Why is that country singers can write about this stuff and they just look at it as a good storytelling?
See? Bobby Shmurda should have been a
country
artist.
Or just white, Chris. That wasn't the fucking answer. It wasn't the fact that he did country. Lil Nas X, they kicked him out when he did country.
Welcome to Wine and Weed. We got a good old classic episode. It's us two. We got Courtney here as well.
Yeah, people love to see you, Courtney.
I'm Chris Reinacher, a.k.a. The Connoisseur, a.k.a. The Goop in Your Gap, a.k.a. Speed Bump, a.k.a. Your New Baby Daddy, a.k.a. The Elusive Moose, a.k.a. Saxophone Jones.
There you go.
And with me, as always,
Sterling Steelo Brim, a.k.a. S to the B to your best degree, a.k.a. that third leg, no, that's just me, a.k.a. Concerned Father, a.k.a. Black Mama, a.k.a. R.I.P. Black Mama, a.k.a. Steezenton, a.k.a. Stallington, a.k.a. Stylist. I feel like I'm missing something from back in the day. I want to bring something back. I don't know. Can you help me?
Quarantine Corona Companion.
Ooh, Quarantine Corona Companion was a good one that I forgot about. That was really good. How we do Husband Potential with Baby Daddy Tendencies.
Nice.
And then we'll end it off with, as always, your Uncle Elroy.
Hey.
And
Courtney, do you got any AKAs
Courtney's not going to be on the show today, are you? People love seeing you, though, last week. They were like, thank you, Courtney, for showing your face. We appreciate you. You're the best.
I absolutely did not show my face last week.
They did, didn't they? We didn't show your face last week?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, they just loved your voice? Oh.
You're like a disembodied fact reader.
I don't have any AKAs, but you guys can give me some.
You have AKAs.
I don't.
You have none in life. No one has ever called you name
Court.
Okay, people are lazy. Okay, let's start with that. Court. Just keep Coco.
You're kind of like you remember Mo from Guts, where she would always be like, in first place from the UK. And like you never saw her, but she was like off camera. Yeah. I feel like you're a little bit of...
Or, wait, who's the character from Proud Family? The one that...
I thought you were going to say Home Depot. You mean Magic Johnson pretty much. His name is... Wizard Kelly. Wizard Kelly. I love Proud Family. It was Wizard Kelly. He was an inventor too, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. No, the dad was an
inventor.
He
used to steal, but no, he used to have a whole bunch of new inventions and he had a factory. He used to steal all their fucking ideas and shit.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was Magic Johnson for sure. That was fucking hilarious. Remember when Magic Johnson first got into theaters? That was crazy. Black people lost their fucking minds. We was like, Magic Johnson got his own theaters? And it was only in California too. When I got here, there was one that was over by the airport somewhat. And I used to always drive past it, but I got to go there one day just because, like, Magic Johnson got his own theater. And they ended up closing that bitch down and never went.
We like drove an hour to go to Wilt Chamberlain's restaurant when I visited my cousins
in
Florida.
There? What do you possibly see them?
I just remember them being like, Wilt Chamberlain has a restaurant. It has video games and pizza. And it was like, let's go super out of the way to go to Wilt Chamberlain's restaurant.
Chamberlain. He had a Chuck E. Cheese. Nigga had a Chuck E. Cheese, just threw his fucking name on it. Changed it from a rat to him. Wilt Chamberlain used to, in my opinion, like, I don't know about Wilt, boy. Wilt said he has slept with how many women? 30,000?
A lot.
He said 30,000 women, fam.
That just feels exhausting.
Okay, he slept with over 20,000 women.
It's all cap. Let's start with that. But he does say that. It's interesting.
I mean, I'll say it again. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It just means that you're never having sex with anybody twice. Which, like, what does that really say about
it? It means you fucking at halftime for sure.
You know,
it means you fucking at halftime. And also, I don't believe it. It's just like I don't believe. Wilt didn't have any kids. You can't. No, he had 0. You can't have 0 kids and 20,000 partners, fam. You slipped up at least once. Unless he had no nut from the beginning, then now he has an argument again.
I feel like if you're saying yourself at 20,000 people, there's a little bit of you admitting.
Yeah, it
like,
says that it was 2.3 women per day.
That's life for Wilt.
Per day and with no repeats.
Per day, every day.
And no repeats.
And he still was better than everybody out there. He was fucking 2.3 women a day and still dominated. That man was taking all his energy through all that nut he was releasing and still was blocking all them shots. That's talent. That's talent, Chris.
Oh, it just feels like it would be like such a scheduling nightmare, you know?
Yeah, he had multiple assistants for sure. I just don't believe it. I don't believe that Wilt Chamberlain has sex with that many people. I have my own conspiracy, but not here to make it up.
That he's a virgin?
No, I think that Wilt Chamberlain, before that wasn't popular in sports, I think that the athletes couldn't say if they played on the other team, and people used to put pressure on you, so you used to lie and say, and I think they probably asked, well, hey, we wouldn't have seen with no girls, man. Hey, man, how many girls you fuck these? 20,000.
I was over 20,000 women.
He panicked real quick. 20,000. I fucked 20,000. And they was like, all right, nigga, that was a weird number. And
then he doubled down on that for like the rest of his life.
Yep. And I think that Will probably, was happier with somebody else that was not a part of that 20,000 number he made up. That's my theory. That's a conspiracy that I like to believe. But also, I just don't think 20,000 women and 0 kids really is a real thing.
I also think it's like, what are you looking for, Will? You can't find him in 2.3 women per day? Like, is that what he wanted? Or was maybe he was after something else?
Maybe he wanted to be great in everything he did. Maybe he was like, I already got the points record. Now I need to get the joints records.
He's like a quantity guy.
He is a quantity guy, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Over quality. But Wilt was smooth as hell, too, though. So shout out to Wilt.
Fuck it. Let's get into the news of this week.
Yeah.
Florida nurse broadcasts butt injection during Zoom courtroom hearing.
I like this.
A Florida nurse broadcasted herself giving a patient a butt injection while waiting for her virtual court hearing to begin. So a spokesperson from the Miami-Dade State's Attorney Office told Fox News that the woman administering the injection, who was charged with third-degree grand theft in a case of state of Florida versus her, she during a waiting period prior to the case being brought before the judge, she was in the middle of a procedure where she was giving a male injections in his butt while she was waiting for, her sentencing and finding out if she was going to be guilty or not.
So she's still working.
She's still working.
She was putting money on her own books just in case. She was like, just in case y'all lock me up, I know I'm going to have as many packs of oodles and noodles and toilet tissue as I can find if I keep working. Are you mad at her, Chris?
I mean, she probably should have just turned the camera off, She probably should have just done her. Was she showing that off?
I like the defense. I like what she's doing here. In my opinion, she's saying, you know what? How can I prove to them that I'm innocent? I'll continue to do what the fuck they're saying I'm guilty of. And she was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep doing it right in front of them to say to the judge, hey, I'm not fucking guilty, and I'm gonna continue to work. And I think the judge is probably gonna take notice and be like, you know what? You're going to jail twice as hard now for this bullshit you're running. What did she put inside the man?
It was butt injection. So
and then wait, what is she being charged with? Grand theft for what?
Yeah, it doesn't say for what, but it says third-degree grand theft.
Oh, grand theft.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering what she's being charged with, and like maybe she's just trying to show like, hey, I got other shit to do.
Well, the picture is she probably had her camera on by accident, but you can see her sticking the needle into the guy's butt.
People gotta stop doing so many things at once.
What do you mean?
It's just like multitasking.
She's multitasking.
I thought
she's like doing surgery. She's also in a Zoom call. Like, I
thought you were saying surgery. Like, you got to stop trying to get so many procedures at one time. And I was like, well, how many procedures is this man getting?
No, I'm thinking about, she's got to slow down a little bit. I'm just trying to think about this woman's mental health. She's just doing too much. But then I don't know. Maybe she's like, "Fuck this! It wasn't worth my time. I hate that I have to I have to take a day off to go to Zoom court. Fuck Zoom court. I'm not even guilty of this. I gotta give ass injections. This man needs to show off his new shorts."
Yeah, for real though. The grand theft is like, is she guilty? They're just saying grand theft in general. Not telling us exactly what she did in terms of grand theft. I don't know if you have to stop your work for Zoom. Like, it's not like I have to show up like with a suit on or like be presentable. It's like if I got shit to do, as long as I show up in court, I think it's fine, honestly. You think it's not? I think it's fine, man.
I think it's fine. I'm just thinking about for the ass injection man's privacy.
She probably didn't realize she had the camera on.
Yeah. This is
Well,
becoming
maybe-
anticlimactic.
Or the judge could be a possible client that she's trying to like. She's like, look, he came in with no ass. And now look at him. He's satisfied. He's knocked out, but look at those cheeks move. She's smacking his ass on camera. Guilty of making him a fucking hottie.
It doesn't say the status of her case.
Because if she got off, then it would be a pretty good day. You know, got
For
some
sure.
work in. Someone got a new ass.
Yeah, are you okay?
Innocent.
You okay? People getting ass? Would you get an ass ever? Like, would you if you was like, man, I'm tired of sliding off this toilet seat. Let me go ahead and get this ass done. Like, would you get an ass?
Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about the whole surgery end of things. Part of me is like, look, it makes you feel better. You do whatever you want to do, but part of me thinks that, you know, it's a lot of like societal brainwashing that put these people in the position, which is sad, but it's the case. So
Yeah, but like, what if it's like, I don't know if it's like more societal thing for little dicks. If it's like, oh man, I got a little dick, that's a societal thing y'all make me feel bad about, or if it's like she might want the preference of big dick. No. What if a guy's like, I'm getting my dick done?
Wait, can
Oh,
a guy
people,
do that?
dudes get their dicks done. I've heard about this.
I didn't know you could do
Am I
that.
dropping this bomb on motherfucking wine and weed right now? Boom, boom, Woj bomb, Woj bomb. Woj bomb. Y'all don't get it. It's an NBA reference that makes no sense right here. But Woj bomb. Dudes be getting their dicks done apparently in these motherfucking Hollywood streets.
is that really?
This is a real thing, man.
Yeah.
People not always born happy with their meat, Chris.
I guess so. I guess you can just be unhappy and fix it with surgery. But part of me is like, look, you got to just accept who you are.
What if you found your soulmate? Your soulmate. She's like, I love you, man. Like, you my fucking soulmate. But I'm really not into little meat. Like, are you not willing to be like, you know what? I'm going to throw away my fucking...
Little meat.
Lil Meat. I don't know if that's your rap name, but I'm just saying Lil Meat. Lil Meat. It's Lil Meat. Like I'm saying, like
I mean, I would.
First off, she said that.
If
she's
I literally
disrespectful.
felt like I could not satisfy this girl and I needed to get dick surgery, I don't know if I'm in the right fucking relationship. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you've never been able to satisfy anyone and you just need dick surgery, dude, then go get your dick surgery. You know what I mean? But like, if there is one person that is like, you need surgery because your dick isn't good enough, and you've never you satisfied other people with
But I'm
your
saying,
dick,
at what number are you
find
like?
somebody who's satisfied?
That's enough critics to say that you need a new dick. Like, at what number are you like, yo? It's been 7 girls all stepped to the plate and they said that dick ain't hitting for nothing.
My question is, will the surgery fix that? Is it
The doctor is gonna, of course, come in and say, I cannot promise that the surgery will fix that, but if your women are looking for girth, what I can do is give you some of that.
No,
I could give you some girth.
Okay, so they have. I was just googling. They have penis enlargement surgery,
Okay, Googling.
and it's $25K. And you'll get a penis
New meat.
enlargement.
Do you get to pick your dick out like a veneer? You're like, I want that dick with those balls. That I don't want no.
Yeah, that is a great question. Does somebody design the dicks?
Oh, if you lose,
yeah.
that's a
Oh,
whole
it's a
different dick.
sensation
Do you get the new
factor.
sensation of seeing your woman come, and that's the sensation you got to leave with, versus the sensation of your actual
It feels like
penis?
overall a very like sad thing you have to do if you are in the place where you like
Have to Google.
just feel
Have to
like you
Google.
gotta get a dick enlargement.
If you know if you need a
It's
dick
the only
enlargement,
thing.
you know if you need one. Like, you're not out here just being like, you're not teetering the fence. You saving up. If you know it, you like, man, I need that dick enlargement. My whole life would change.
That's how I feel about kind of plastic surgery in general. If I feel bad when some like, I've known like beautiful girls that get plastic surgery, and I'm like, but you were beautiful.
But what about the girls that are like, but you didn't talk to them before they got plastic surgery?
No, maybe
I'm
there's
joking.
another girl.
He came to them
there-
afterwards
maybe
like,
there's
you were
another
beautiful
person
before.
who has something that's such a over. Some people have things about their face that are overwhelmingly distracting, and maybe they brought that down and live a better life now. And I'm like, I get that.
That was the most shallow shit I've ever heard on the show.
Sorry.
Secondly,
If it changed, I don't know if it's part of your
you
career
hear about
or
women who
something.
will say like, you know what? Well, at least in the 90s, this was a real thing, guys. I'm speaking about the past. They'll be like, me getting my breast enhancement saved my life. Like, it changed my career path. I wasn't getting advanced in work and did this. What if it was some dude out here who was like, yo, I couldn't even get a job before this dick. Like, I couldn't even get work before I got this dick. I paid the $25,000. Boy, I am a CEO now.
But I bet it was something about his confidence at the end of the day.
It probably was. He probably was.
Feel that same way about some of those people who feel like they need to get surgery because they're just unconfident with something.
Ooh.
And they need it for themselves.
Yeah.
But I feel
That's how I
bad
feel.
when
If
people
it
are like,
makes you
I feel
happy.
constantly not good enough. And so
People really say that?
I think a lot of people get surgery.
I think people
because
feel
they-
that. No, people feel that. But for people to actually talk to you and say, I got this because I hate myself is a little
Oh,
extreme.
yeah. I guess I haven't really had in-depth conversation with people with plastic surgery. I have. But they weren't people that... They were people who fixed something about themselves that they saw as, like, distracting.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
some people who
Or
have...
maybe it gave them more confidence too.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people get it
Exactly,
for
yeah.
confidence.
people get reductions too for more confidence as well.
Definitely.
Like if it's too distracting, like, oh, I want to work in this field and fucking old perv over here can't get it together, so I got to get a reduction. Or it's hurt backs. We call them hurt backs.
Hurt back.
Hurt backs.
Yeah.
They just hurt your back.
What do you think about plastic surgery?
I'm fine with people doing whatever they want to. If it makes them happy in life, I'm fine. Like, that's my whole theory about anything. Any oppressed group, anything is like, yo, why the fuck would I care? If it makes you happy, I am all for you. I'm for happiness. I'm for people being happy. So, like, there's no group that I'm against if whatever they fucking are. Unless it's a group that's like, we kill blacks. It makes us happy. And I'd be like, that's kind of not a good group. But other than that,
Well, it's
as long
always
as-
like when it infringes on someone else. Then
Yes,
you're
then
like,
it's a
okay.
problem. But other than that, as long as something that you're doing within self, that for self, I have no problem with that at all. So if you're having plastic surgery because you like, I want to be more confident, and blah 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 blah, then do it. Fuck yeah. But
yeah,
you
I
don't-
just see so much
don't
plastic
need it,
surgery
yeah.
being done because people feel like they're like. My interpretation is that a lot of people do it because they feel like that will like fix them and then they'll be better and they're not good enough and
of course,
so they need
and
plastic
that sucks, and that's because of
that feels like society.
yeah, it's because
induced.
people are overdosed, as we went on before, on dopamines, and you look on social medias and you have people who the things they are looking at, the girl that may not have as big of breast or as big of hips or booty or whatever, is looking at someone who she feels as though is like probably not even better looking than her, and she's like, the only thing this person has that is differentiating us is the breast and the booty. So why would I not, if I want to take these trips that this person's doing or do this thing that they're doing? Like, all they did was buy a fucking body really quick. So
Yeah.
I get it. I 1000% understand that if from an investment standpoint, as funny as that is, but it is sad for sure. But I also am
Right.
all for people being fucking happy, and I ain't got no right to tell them what to do.
I feel like it's very American to make people to give people the mindset that I need to spend $25,000 because my dick isn't good enough. Like,
That's
relax,
American?
buddy.
I think people
Hey,
get
no,
surgeries
yeah,
everywhere, bro.
I guess it's
everywhere.
human,
It's
man.
everywhere. You crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
American thing.
It just feels like it sucks that those people like, I don't know. You're right. If it makes you happy, it makes you happy.
Yeah.
I'm more not blaming the individuals. I'm more just a little like, oh, we live in a society type sad about the state of things. But as this gets more popular, do you think we're gonna raise kids who are like, well, I'm used to seeing everybody on
Yeah,
Instagram.
I want a new dick, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you're
I
like,
used to see on people on
"Alright,
Instagram.
son."
Plastic surgery is super ordinary. I want to have the Los Angeles
I
filter
remember
all the
back
time.
in the day, you just had to be dealt with the dick you had, and now you kids just come out thinking you can get the top of the line dicks. I swear
I want
to
filter
God.
surgery. I'll just get a different filter kind of on my
That's
face.
blackface. When I was raised, that was blackface. No, I don't know. I think kids will definitely be raised in a society that will tell them that is normal. I don't know if I am one to criticize or say that it's not normal as the world continues to evolve. What was normal yesterday will not be normal tomorrow. So I don't know if I am here to judge in that way either. But I do think there will be a time, and I look forward to the time of being an old person and being like, what the fuck is that? what the fuck is going on? I want to enjoy those days because those are good days too, where you can look at shit and be like, this is crazy. This is wonky. And if you're old and not enjoying that, I feel sad because I'd be like, I wish that you really tapped into the, it's fine, I'm old. You motherfuckers are the weirdos.
Man arrested at JFK Airport for trying to smuggle 35 birds under his clothing into the U.S. for a singing competition.
For a singing competition?
Yes. A 36-year-old man was arrested at JFK after customs officials discovered he was trying to smuggle 35 live finches into the country so that those birds could be used in a singing competition.
In a regular or a finches singing competition?
A finches
okay, I think they're going to do background vocals for a
I'm
nigga.
going to be on the voice.
They was like they was doing the harmonies in the background. I was like, this nigga's incredible with his voice. How's he doing that?
So, the complaint against him goes on to say that he concealed in his suit and jacket and beneath his pants legs, with each bird hidden inside a hair curler. So he used the little hair curlers to hide the birds in there.
They dead when he got out. These birds weren't singing anything.
No, they were alive.
Okay.
They survived.
This is
Yeah.
How do you even
Disney
know?
character, man.
Yeah, it's also like if you fucking so badly want to win the finches competition, sir, bring the birds in. We don't fucking care. If you put them in curling irons?
In curlers, hair curlers.
Oh, and just regular curlers.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like a hot curler. Like they took the top off and threw the motherfuckers inside. I was like, so we can look right through the curler and see this nigga. We like, that's a bird, sir. I see him.
No,
He's in a baby cage.
He used little curlers and tied them around his legs and his body, and then wore like mesh
Like it was
clothing
dynamite.
over. Yes, that's it, like that, like that.
He showed us, oh my, sir, calm down. Put the birds down. I'll blow this fucking place.
They go wild when the plane starts going in the air.
He
Are there
disappears.
birds all over this fucking plane?
He disappears into the feathers. They're like, where the fuck did he go? He's like, he has tricks.
So these finches are apparently in extreme, like high demand because of how well they sing.
Like who? The markets that come out, the markets that we learn about weekly on this show is like, oh, apparently it's hot. It's fucking a hot girl summer for finches right now. If you want to like really spend some real bread, it's hot right now in the finches community. It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
He's like the Joe Jackson of his like bird family. You know, he has like the Michael Jackson of bird singers.
Where?
He
has like one of the top ones?
No, well
in the world. He has this like Finch's family.
Are you making this?
No,
You're
you made
making
that part
this up.
up.
You
They're
made this
selling
up.
out stadiums.
No, okay. But how many was he bringing in?
He 35.
35.
Yes,
And
35.
they're scarce right now?
Well, so
Is he wearing a sweatsuit, or I imagine it's like a zoot suit?
And how is he sourcing these finches? Now that Chris brings it up, are these all from one singing family of finches?
no,
or is this,
they're from
they're
Guyana,
the
and
Lions. They're the
Guyana.
Lions.
The finches in Guyana are known as like the best singing finches. So he brought them from there to the States because if they win a competition, then he can then sell them for up to $10,000 per bird if they whichever
so
birds wins.
$350,000 right there. How much was
Yes.
the competition he was going to win too?
It
Put that on top. The bonus.
But the crazy thing is, if he got through, he was gonna make $3,000 per bird that he got through customs.
So he wasn't even the guy.
No, he wasn't.
There was
the guy
somebody
singing.
paying
Yes,
him.
Paying him.
Yeah, so
to transport them.
there should be an investigation right now within the finches community of like, okay, it's only 7 of us. it's only 7 of us. Which one of you motherfuckers was bringing finches in to cheat? Because it's only 7 of us. And Daryl's at the bathroom. It was fucking Daryl for sure. Like, how big is this community of like, the competition was where? Who was holding the competition? There's a competition in the States
yes,
each year.
in New York. It's in New York.
In New York?
Yes.
At Carnegie Hall.
That's what I'm wondering. Is it Carnegie Hall, or is it like a seedy underground small? Like it feels like it's gonna be some.
It's
fight
like you got
club,
served.
but then,
You got
yeah.
served with finches. They bringing out the fucking secret finches, man.
They come out of his suit from all angles.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is a very interesting story because I didn't know that there was such a crazy finch community. Is it finches or is it just finch?
Finches.
Finches community. Will I call one of them a finch or is it finches still? That's what I'm asking.
One is a finch.
So it's a finch community, right? Or is it the finches community?
I could go either way.
Finches.
All I'm saying is like, this is interesting. I just like each week, like when Tarzan was on here and he was like, yeah, that snake you can get off of the black market for blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, people are just buying fucking venomous snakes for $250 or whatever. Like, to hear there's a finch community of people trying not only to like compete, but to bring in ringers.
And be
To bring in fucking rigged finches who apparently can hit any note that you need them to fucking hit, who are the Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, the Beyonce of fucking finches, is just crazy to me. That's all I'm saying.
But of course there is. Of course there's that market. Like,
But how do you even know about it?
I feel like animal is actually a cheaper market. Like, we're fucking learning about $100,000 NFTs that go in someone's hard drive. Like, a finch, I think, is a better investment than an NFT for me.
Can you trust anybody in the finches community? I don't think a nigga could speak to you about finches without saying this first. Psst, psst, psst. Come here, fam. Come here. Let me holler at you real quick. I got them finches. Nigga, what is that? Exactly. Like,
No,
I just
this.
don't
Pulls out
get
a
how
pitch
this
pipe.
conversation even, like, how this group grows.
I mean, it's articles like this. I'm
Yeah.
interested. I want to
Now I'm
hear.
Now
like,
Chris is gonna
I'm
get
trying to Google
finches.
the competitions. Like, where's the next competition?
First,
How do you know?
I hate anybody. I hate anybody that owns a bird. Let's start with that. A bird
You
is
don't
to
like bird
fly
people?
around. A bird is to fly in the sky and be free.
Oh.
If you own a fucking bird, fuck you. If you put a bird in a cage, you're like, this is my bird. He hates you. He literally, or she hates you. The bird's supposed to be flying somewhere. And you're like, they stay here in my apartment in New York. The bird likes to look at the brick wall. It's his favorite thing to do. It's like, no, it's not. He would like to fly, bitch.
Yeah, he's in a cage.
Yeah.
But what if you had? Do you think you have to cage the finches? Like, if they're
Yeah, so they don't fly away.
I think you have to cage any bird because they don't want to be with you.
but what if they always? Okay, what if you had a little stand right back there,
Mhm.
and there was like 10 finches on there, and they just hung out. They weren't like in any cages, and they fly around, and they come back, and you'd be like, "Yeah, welcome to my house," and you could like,
They just hanging
show
out. Are
people
they
the cool
singing
things
or
about
they
your
just hanging
house.
out?
They're hanging out, but then you could show people kind of like, "Oh, cool, I have a pretty cool house." Also, check this out: 5, 6, 7. They just
I
like
could do that. And they start
they
singing.
harmonize.
Are they sing? Do they do songs? Only songs I request.
Yeah.
Damn, that's tough.
So
They
they're
like to hit Boys to Men songs of like 5, 6, and then motherfuckers just start harmonizing. It's so hot. I'm like, damn, that's dope.
I mean, people are being like, yeah, Stern's art is great. Have you seen his pool? Yeah. No, but those finches, like everyone's talking about the finches.
I would sell the finches for sure.
But the finches, I guess, are more affordable than
No, but if not a
other things.
motherfucker.
Actually, $3,000 for a small finch.
If these 10 finches
It's-
show up
yeah,
at my crib and they sing
$30K.
like dope ass songs, I'm gonna get more off that too because I'm gonna promote the fuck out of them. I'm making their own Instagram page.
True.
I'm gonna get them really popping. I'm gonna have a social media team that really, names each finch. All the 10 of them are gonna have different names, and it'll be like BTS, where you don't really know who's who, but you be like, I like that one. Like everybody will have a favorite out of the finches. Like, dude, I would blow the finches up.
I'm
That'd be
just
their
saying,
name, the
there might be a
finches.
market.
The finches, actually. Is that a new fucking cartoon show right there? The
That's a
finches
cartoon show.
for kids. 10 finches.
It's
They
the
all
finch.
sing. The finch that stole Christmas.
Is it?
So speaking of NFT, Disaster Girl meme sold as NFT for nearly $500,000.
I saw that. She made like what, 350,000 off of it?
That's
No,
my
she made
question.
$500K.
So
500K.
she has the rights to the original.
Yeah, she
NFT.
has the rights, but she sold it.
She's 21.
It was from 2005 when she was 4 years old when her dad took that picture. So
Yeah.
she sold it.
I think that's very cool. I think it's cool that these kind of famous internet people that have brought us so much joy have a way to monetize that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I think that's like one of the coolest NFT stories I've heard so far.
Whatever, Chris. That girl burned down a house. You're happy that she made. First of all, she got the insurance money from fucking burning down the house, and then she just got more money from NFT. You're happy about
She
this?
won
Chris?
five. She got made
She made like
$500,000
1.5
for looking
Yeah.
evil.
And then she also like sold her rights to What Do You Meme. She's been making money for a while.
Mhm.
She's rich, dude.
She's rich off of
I think
a
she
picture
deserves
her
Of
dad
burning
took.
down a house. They don't speak about, but it had her grandmother in it. I'm joking. So
what is the
dark.
story behind the
What
meme?
is wrong with
Wait, so it says in 2005, Roth was only 4 years old when she had her picture taken by her father, David, as they witnessed a house which was donated to the fire department by the homeowners as part of a controlled burn to clear the land. So it was a controlled fire.
Cat.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, that definitely makes it okay, and it
Yeah,
explains
she controlled
her.
the fire. Yeah, it was controlled all right. Still making her a suspect in my book. Now she's
Yeah,
making money.
$500K from me.
No, that's really, like, I don't know what the fuck, like, I don't get it. I guess in my head now, if they want to use that picture for anything else in life, that they have to pay whoever just bought the rights from her. But I don't know how it really fucking works, man. NFT is still a thing for me that I'm like, each week I'm like, all right, we're still nowhere in making this make sense. But I'm all for people making money.
What about, what is the answer? Do you know what the answer for that is with this meme? It feels like public domain at this point, but I guess nobody can put it on like a shirt.
Yeah, you can't put it on a shirt, or if you try to put it in a show or something, you have to probably license it now.
But now they're just making up stuff. I don't know.
So were they licensing it from her before? Like you were saying on Ridiculousness, you have to license it from the person who shot the video. Mm-hmm. So her and her dad probably have.
Her dad made the money, but it's just a better headline to say she made it. Her dad's not gonna give her any of it. I took the photo, Lindsay.
I brought you to the controlled demolition. You were just there.
You're just a fucking child at this time. Seriously. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. You want a Smokey the Bear shirt? That's kind of dope, though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, only you can control forest fires. Smokey put a lot of pressure on motherfuckers at a young age. He made you feel like only you could control that shit.
Smokey's a dope character.
He is, but he's a fucking liar because there are wildfires out here in California. Smokey never spoke about that shit.
He is a little victim.
He has not rebranded and said, like, you know what, wildfires are not your fault. He told us only we can control that shit. And Smokey don't wear shirts, which always rubbed me the wrong way, honestly. He wore pants. Why pants?
No, I get it.
Why pants?
Because he's like in the forest all the time.
You almost see his
he's
bare
camping,
dick.
really. He's a camper.
What the fuck? What does it mean? Why is his shirt off?
Because you could not wear your shirt while you're camping.
No, you would have an axe because you're saying I cut down trees, which he don't want to say because he's saying like let's keep the trees. But why would you have your shirt off just to have a shovel in your hand? Weirdo behavior.
Why does he have a shovel?
He killed somebody. He killed either another bear or a person.
What?
And he's burying them.
I mean, why does he have a shovel all the time?
Why do we never question him? And he has one of them old motherfucking 2003 belts that got your name across that bitch. Like he used to wear jerseys too for sure, throwbacks. Baby. Look at his belt buckle. It's got his name across it. That's ghetto behavior.
He's a bear too, so he's like kind of scary. And he's like, don't start a fire. He's like a little intimidating. He has a little raccoon friend, right? Or am I thinking
he had a raccoon? That's Guardians of the Galaxy.
I could either be thinking Pocahontas or maybe I'm thinking Tootsie Pop commercial.
How do you feel about Pocahontas looking back? Are you like, this is bullshit? Or are you still rocking with it?
I still rock with Pocahontas, I think.
Damn, you white as fuck, Chris. You the whitest motherfucker I know, man. That's why I keep you around.
I mean, they should. I don't think. I just like the story of Pocahontas. Pocahontas is the main character. Are you saying like what their interaction with John Smith and shit was?
The colonizers, the motherfucker who came over
and
take their land.
I'm talking about pictures of
take their land.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about
first of all, you know who wrote that story? You know who wrote that story? John Smith. He wrote that as a romanticized. Yeah, so me and Poca was hitting it off.
I can't remember the end,
and it was dope. But Pocahontas' story is completely different. She's like, that nigga raped me.
Well, I remember they're saying like savages. And
they were savages.
They were singing savages, but they were like, but we're not savages. These white people are racist. I feel like that was part of it. But then they were like, but not this one guy. He's a hero. And then married him, right? That's how Pocahontas goes?
It's kind of how it went. Why you saying?
I feel like because he is he's a bit, like the white guys are the bad guys.
They are the bad guys.
Except John Smith, right? Like, but
he's still with them, though.
Yeah, and in real life, it wasn't cute like that at all.
How many Disney movies, if you had to guess in your head, like how many are you like, yo, we look back at that story, it was not okay? I mean, people didn't like Zootopia. People thought Zootopia was like, this is just about race. I thought it was kind of cool, but I also was like, is it too early to teach kids about race and stuff like right away?
I don't know if they will get it in that way, when they're watching.
But that's why they're giving it to them the way they're giving it to them, to be like, hey, we shouldn't be mean to people.
Yeah,
just
but
because they have
lesson,
fox
right?
skin.
Right. Because they're an elephant.
Because that's not right. And then kids are like, all right, I never met an elephant, but I won't be mean to any.
There was the crows from Dumbo that were bad.
Oh yeah, those.
Oh yeah.
for sure.
Thank you,
Dumbo-
Courtney.
Dumbo's gone.
What else we got?
There's a Song of the
Is
South.
Dumbo gone?
No, can the scenes just be cut? I don't know. I remember Dumbo being dark as fuck. I haven't
Can we
seen
do
Dumbo
reshoots?
forever.
Can we do reshoots this late? Can we do some reshoots for Dumbo?
There was Song of the South that was bad.
That sounds
too.
racist. Song of the South.
I think that one's with Zippity Doodah in it, right? Zippity Doodah.
Zippity doo.
I don't know what else that movie's about.
Yeah, I know that one.
but
That
I'm
was one
pretty
of the
sure
bands
it's
I knew,
racist.
Chris. What was that band name? Joking. Disney.
Okay, so there's also I'm literally looking at an article of all the problematic stuff in Disney movies. There's a lot.
Are we gonna look back at any modern Disney movies like post 2000 and think that they're problematic?
Interesting.
Ooh.
Mulan's weird gender wise. Mulan is like whenever anybody dresses up as a boy, they're like, okay, you're a boy, and then they're like, but why am I attracted to this boy? That feels wrong. And then she's like, I'm a girl, and they're like, I knew it. We were into you. And there's just a lot of weird gender things going on with any of the. Whenever a girl dresses up as a boy, I don't know. It's always.
Oh, you're saying their thinking is problematic.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
the characters?
What characters? They're thinking like you're a guy, so you one of us. What? I don't get it.
I just think it's funny how people immediately always in these movies where just someone dresses up, a girl dresses up as a guy, and everyone's
Like in Big Mama's house, or like
she's the man, or like any of these.
What do you mean? Well, I don't know what you mean.
I
It's
don't get it.
problematic. What do
Yeah.
you mean?
I think there's a funny element. I was just thinking about the character that is why am I into this boy who's dressed up as a woman? And I think it's funny that person might go through the journey of I guess maybe I'm gay, and then they're like, oh, I'm a woman. Oh, I'm not. I think that's a whole
I got you.
entire,
Boom.
and they
Okay.
won't admit it because they don't want to be gay. You know what I mean?
Or are they mad because they wanted to be gay, and then when she turns out to be
Right.
a girl,
I just went through the whole thing. I just
fuck.
accepted that
I was ready
gay.
to be gay, and now you're a girl.
And now you're a girl. You fucked me up the whole time. That's where I was thinking with Mulan.
Officials claim California wildfire was started to conceal murder. According to a claim made by officials on Wednesday, a 2020 Northern California wildfire was intentionally set to try and cover up a murder.
Oh, fuck.
The blaze, dubbed the Merkley Fire, ended up killing two other people, a 64-year-old and an 82-year-old. As a result, the man who had started it will have to face 2 murder charges against him, and he'll also face an arson. The fire was set near a dam. A burned body was found in the same area.
So he might be facing 3 murders.
3 murders now.
But right now they know they have him for 2 of the 2 that he burned down.
Yeah, well, 2 people that died in the fire.
The 64 and the 82.
Yeah, so they also found a burned body.
A third body.
Yeah, where that fire was started. So they think.
And then how
he
big did
started
the fire grow?
And who is this person? Or did they give us anything, or just told us a person?
The person, the burned body was Priscilla Castro. That's whose body it was found. And the guy that started it, his name is Victor Sarantino.
How old is he?
It doesn't say how old he is. No.
And this is where?
And this is in Northern California. And this fire would go on to merge with the larger one, the Hennessy fire. And it eventually started a massive fire in Northern California.
That fire, or this will merge into another fire?
Another fire. And then
they made
created a bigger fire. Yeah.
Got it.
There's very Breaking Bad. It's like one thing affects another thing that affects the entire.
That fire was considered the 4th largest fire in state history.
Oh my God,
shit, it
that
was a
just
huge
happened.
Fire.
Yeah,
I didn't know
that
that
was a
just
huge fire,
and
that
it was
last
basically
year.
started by somebody who was like, "I'm going to kill them and burn their house down," and then their house burnt fucking everything down.
Or I guess they were trying to cover up a
The
murder that they
murder,
did.
the first murder.
Yeah, they burned the whole thing.
They
down.
burned the whole thing,
Yeah.
trying to get away with it, but then they got 2 more bodies in it.
Yeah,
And then it was like, "Fuck!" Now the whole
whole
other
Northern
2 people-
California.
Fire.
The other 2 people don't die. They probably don't even investigate as
Yeah,
much.
they
And
probably
he probably
wouldn't-
gets away with the murder.
because they died in the fire.
Yeah, they
Yes.
died in the fire.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. I'll listen to an entire podcast about this.
I'll make one.
Yeah, so it said the fire started on August 18th and it ended in October.
What the fuck? A 2-month fire?
It ended October 2nd.
I was trying to get rid of one nigga. I had 2 months of fire worth to get rid of this one person.
And you create the 4th largest fire in state history.
That's crazy. This is
Wow.
a big ass state too.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta burn some shit down.
You're also like the worst murderer. Like,
Yeah, it's not
Such
for
a
you.
terrible
Yeah.
person. Terrible
You could have got rid. Like you could have got away with it way cleaner than that.
You're just like a clown who's also a terrible person. So you tried to murder these people and then you made a fucking huge mistake.
Yeah, Chris, if you murder somebody, how would you like?
And this is the evidence that the judge will play one day.
I'd write a song about
Every
it.
person in the world has thought about if they were to. Y'all don't watch Forensic Files and be like, that nigga messed up right there. That's what they got his ass at. No,
Oh, I love
I would
stupid
never.
criminals.
I'm way too much of a bitch to ever kill anybody. But I do look at murder shows and be like, well, that's your fuck up right there. No, not me.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you're like, yeah.
Okay, Courtney. Courtney need to be
be.
a motherfucker that kills somebody for real because she's the one not admitting. She's like, no, I've never done it, like a murderer, because I've done it because I'm not a murderer.
Oh yeah, it's very rewarding being like, you fucking idiot.
So what's
murderer.
your answer? What do you like, yo? If I was to do
That's where
murder,
you fucked up.
yeah.
No, I mean, all these people have so much. I mean, my favorite murder.
My favorite murder. Investigate. Arrest him right now, boys.
Judge.
My favorite murder.
No, the people have so much fucking shit going on in their murder story. Oh yeah, there's a lot of there's a podcast called Crime Junkie, and they are like, here's a murder, and you're like, oh my god, and you're constantly like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
How do you do that? But then there are people who
do really good.
Yeah, and that is even fucking
Scary.
more
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah,
that is
that's
creepy
terrifying.
as fuck. You're like, oh my god, that is, oh my god. You own a plane and you lure people onto your plane and then you like rape, murder, and leave them in like Florida in swamps and fly back. And this one,
This is a podcast.
this was a
Very
murder.
specific.
This was a murder, and I was like, oh fuck, like, oh no, this murderer is like smart in a way, and they're also like rich and powerful enough to like own a plane. And they're kind of a powerful person in their community, and they're just fucking
Is this a
murdering
real
people.
person?
Yeah, this is a real murder. I can't remember the name of it off the top
Yeah,
of
you
my
better
head.
not remember that shit. Is he still living, motherfucker?
But it was like, no, he eventually got caught because a woman got free. Like
Oh,
a woman
shit.
freed herself and like got away and exposed him. And the fucking cops, of course, the cops don't believe him. Every fucking murder podcast is about how shitty the cops are at their job.
Yeah.
Every fucking one. I mean, I get that you're watching it with a little more context than the cop had, but you're always like, it's always like fucking powerful people in communities that are able to get away from shit. It's the same pattern of shit. And those people turn out to be murderers, and it's fucking, and people cover up for them because they're somebody's son, or they're some like, and when you look at their past, you're always like, they have so many signs that they're a fucking psycho, and our system just supports them. So it's always really entertaining
Dark,
to
man.
hear about these.
I
murders.
wanted a simple answer, like might wear a space outfit, with all plastic or some shit. That's what my brilliant plan was. But okay, take us down a dark path, sir. I only watch murder documentary shit before 9 p.m. Like because it always after 9 p.m. for whatever reason, my luck is when I watch it, they're like, and he's still out there, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he was last seen where? And it's down the block. Normally, it's like
You
on my
don't
street.
listen to any of the
No,
murder stuff?
I'm a chicken. My imagination's way too active. I will no.
It's
Can't do
the worst one. The Golden State Killer was the one that gave me bad dreams, and like, also again in the 70s, like this guy just creeped outside people's windows and would go inside and murder people and like make food out there. And he was a psychopath, and he did it to so many people. And the police are so incompetent that they couldn't catch this person.
No, you know what movie messed me up? The Lovely Bones, where that movie messed me up real bad.
What was it about?
It was basically this guy murders this girl and he essentially gets away with it, and he's like holding her hostage in his house. It's something weird, but he's like pretending to be a regular neighbor, but he kidnapped her and kills her and murders her, and her ghost is like trying to help her parents find her.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
with Stanley Tucci. He's in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
He plays the serial killer.
Her ghost is doing what?
Her ghost is trying to like guide her family to find where her body is and who murdered her.
Damn, imagine dying and still got to do the job the police can't do. You like, fuck, I died and I got to work for these niggas. These incompetent ass motherfuckers. Can't even find who murdered me. So I got to help you motherfuckers. And they be out like, it's always somebody that's like right in front of them too, ain't it?
Yeah.
Dude.
Is always the person that's like next door.
It was like her neighbor.
Yeah,
It's
like her neighbor.
Yeah.
Every time it's the person that's like, yeah, it's the person we all thought murdered people before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit of investigation, guys. No. My brother knows that guy. He's good. What the fuck are you talking about?
Your brother is weird.
Your brother's a weirdo. This happened in my hometown. There's a murder in my hometown when I was growing up. And it just the suspect
There was a murder in your hometown? You said you come from like a murderer's hometown.
Yeah,
like,
when I was a kid, there's like it's a little bit like I grew up in some like old school movie where there's like and there's a murder in town.
Oh, and you knew
like,
where it was.
Well, we didn't know who it was. Maybe it's Old Man Mother.
No. It was a real like investigation.
It was a Cal Poly student was last seen with this very specific person who has a history of being a creep. And
at the time, did you know, or are you just giving us the evidence now?
I'm giving you the evidence now, but also like I listened to a podcast about it, and everybody they interview is like, no, yeah, we knew this guy, and he had a record and stuff like that.
Always,
but they could not find her. Her name is Kristen Smart, and they could not find her body. They couldn't figure out. It went unsolved, and just 2 weeks ago, they arrested that guy. And his dad,
like actually 2 weeks ago, like
yeah,
as in
Paul
right
Flores.
now, as in now,
yeah.
And when did this happen?
This happened in 1994.
Oh, you were 6.
Yeah, I was a kid. Like I didn't. But then so there's a billboard in my hometown. There's like a little village. It's pretty little small town America. There's a village, but in front of one lawyer's office in the village, he has a billboard, and it says "Missing college student." Kirsten Smart, any information with his phone number, because it was like a famous unsolved case, and they weren't giving up hope.
But the dude, right? Number one, do they know he did it? Like, did they find enough evidence now that he did it, or
I think they found because I think they found evidence that he buried her body on his father's property.
Okay, how many actual? I don't know how big your town is. How many police officers are in your town?
Oof. My hometown is 15,000 people.
But
it didn't happen in Rio Grande. It happened in
Gym
San
Class
Luis
Heroes
Obispo.
concert.
It happened in San Luis Obispo, which is like 100,000 people.
Okay, so it happened at like
in a college
town. Okay, 100,000 people. Was he connected to anybody, or did is it a reason that he wasn't arrested sooner, or like for you to, because the way you talking on this podcast, like that you could have solved this case a long time ago.
Well, I mean, I understand, and people have sent me things that, you know, there's a lot of red tape when it comes to investigating people, and there's some double jeopardy things because they did try this guy, but they couldn't get evidence here. I just listened to this podcast called Your Own Backyard that like,
oh, and that's what the body was.
Kinda, but it lines the whole thing out, and definitely the way he presents it makes it very obvious. And it was unsolved at the time he was making the podcast, and he was kind of like, and I don't know if he had anything to do with this getting so much attention that now it's national news again.
What does the guy do? The guy who they arrested, like, did he have a normal job, or like?
He worked at like a Coca-Cola bottling plant. He
he's
like
guilty.
somebody who.
That's where they go for sure.
Dude, there's also like, there are other people.
What the fuck is wrong with me? Why don't I just say stuff that doesn't make sense? That's where they go. I don't know.
I mean, he did go to Cal Poly, but he was a local.
That's enough for Chris to arrest him.
He was a local at my high school, and he didn't even have a high GPA. They just like put him in. He's kind of a.
What does that mean?
I learned about this.
Because
he had
you have
like
a low
2.5 in high school, and like they had a local people get into Cal Poly.
You know what?
Even though they're not qualified thing, and
I was kind of against you in that first moment, but I would say they did actual research. Maybe there is a correlation between lower GPAs and murder, and crime. It might be. Know. It might actually be. But I was gonna say I don't like you assuming. Because somebody had lower GPA, they do something like that, which I think is a fair thing to not assume.
That's fair. But fair.
Also at the same time, I do think they did their research. Maybe there's a connection there.
I'm saying that he was a college student, like he was, but he was given a lot of like advantages. I think it's a very white privilegey story.
Thanks, man. I wanted you to get there.
I think it's a very white privilegey story.
Happy you finally crossed that line and went for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it has to do with local privilege as well. I don't know those interpersonal relationships.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I that would all be speculation.
It is motherfuckers. Not even it is motherfuckers. There's a whole bunch of people locked up for crimes they didn't even commit, crimes that they were just around and everything else. So for you to do an actual murder in a small town and to pretty much let it rock out for what, 27 years, you said?
Yeah.
Since 94? 27 years is a little white privilege of like, we're not doing our jobs hard enough because he's there. He works at Coca-Cola, guys. In the factory. Coca-Cola, you have nothing to do with this. We know. We're not against you. We'll take sponsorships.
Yeah, there's a lot to be
unraveled,
said. Yeah,
or untwisted and uncapped.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. we can also present an ad.
Enjoy.
Florida beachgoer finds $1.5 million worth of cocaine washed ashore. When visiting a Florida beach, you never know what you might find. For one beachgoer, instead of finding a seashell wash up on the sandy shore, they found $1.5 million worth of cocaine. The Chief Patrol Agent Thomas G. Martin tweeted the findings, recording that $1.5 million worth of cocaine weighed about 65 pounds. So the package contained 65 pounds of cocaine and was turned over to the U.S. Border Patrol custody.
My problem with any of this is simple. What does my reward look like, and what does like my cut? Because if I find that and I know that my reward is nothing, I just got into the cocaine business. I am now about to start serving for sure. I'm about to start selling coke because I'm not giving you how much, 11.5?
1.5.
I'm not giving you $1.5 million if I'm broke, and I know that you give me nothing. But hey, you're doing a good thing, soldier. Bitch, I ain't a fucking soldier. Get your hands off me and give me my goddamn money.
And I think they're also probably gonna go make money off of it. The police are.
For sure.
The police are gonna go fucking resell it and go make money off of it.
So it's like, yo, I'm not about to just be handing you over the cocaine unless I know that I'm getting a cut. If you're like, yo, if there was like a actual like open conversion rate of cocaine to dollars for people in America, like when you find coke, if you find 1.5, we give you 500,000, you get 33% of whatever you find. Like then niggas might be more susceptible to be like, all right, you can hide this coke, I still get 500,000, I ain't going to jail, my hands clean, there's some shit I found cool. But if I'm getting zero, I'm a coke dealer for sure. I'm a coke dealer. Fam, I'm not even thinking about it. If I find 65 pounds of coke and you're not giving me anything off of it, I'm moving this shit for sure.
Yeah. Well, you also, I also wonder if maybe he found a little bit more than that and just reported a certain amount, you know?
Okay.
Because at that point you're like, I turned it in, but also I'm going to get, because at some point, like that's a lot. I mean, I guess you have a couple people you can like call, but like this is kind of scary.
That's a lot to convert and try to sell $1.5 million worth.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a lot. It's zero is also nothing. And if I'm giving you fucking this much weight and you're giving me zero, then I gotta deal with this a lot. No, you're going zero. You're going, I'm turning this cocaine in and I'm getting nothing.
Oh, no, I don't think my initial reaction if I found that on the beach would be, let me call the cops. It's hard because it's 65 pounds too. So like, how tough is that? How tough is it to lift 65? You can lift 65 pounds and bring it back to your
65 pounds.
Car?
It's 65 pounds.
Yeah, you can hold that.
That's a
That's
a big ass toddler. That's it. It's not that big.
Yeah, you can bring it back. Okay.
Easy.
Okay. What if it was just a little too heavy to like
lift? And you gotta ask the motherfucker. Now you got a partner right away. Hey nigga, you help me with this? I cut you in, fam. Of this sugar business I'm in.
I think you might get a reward. I'm trying to Google and it says you can make maybe like 5,000, 10,000. I don't think you can make.
Man, if you don't get the fuck out my face, no $5,000 a stimmy. That's like a couple stimmies, nigga. They ain't no. That's not what I'm about to do. I'm not turning in 1.5 for you to give me $5,000.
But how do you even start? I'm over here thinking of Queen of the South. Like, how did she start selling drugs?
You motherfucking, you gotta figure it out.
Yeah,
Look,
you gotta.
First of all, whatever this,
it would be kind of scary to have like $1.5 million worth of cocaine like in your fucking house and be like,
I'd be
now I have
terrified.
to
It
figure
ain't
this
no
out.
motherfucking cameras on this shit. Yeah, but wherever it is, you know this delivery is not too far from his home. So it's like, for me, it's like, hey, the answers are right around me. I just gotta watch what's going on, if anything, and just be like, all right, let me see what I can do. And at least until, first of all, if I got this much cocaine, I got equity. I gotta get protection. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here getting to the game hardcore immediately. I love the concept of being like a librarian and then just being like, I found this shit, and now nigga, I'm in the game.
One walk on the beach.
Very Breaking Bad. Yeah,
Very
one walk.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, but I'm with it. I'm with all of it. I love to see Chris be like some big dope dealer in Hollywood, all because he, was lonely on the beach at night.
Yeah, I feel like you'd try to get it. Like you'd try to be like, it's funny to be like, who would you call? Like, who's the person you think of that has proximity for the average
To
person
coke?
to 1.5
Who's doing a
to
lot
getting
of coke
rid of
out here?
$1.5 million worth of coke. I just think it's a funny path to follow.
I don't know, man, but I'm not turning that shit in. That's my answer. That's my fucking answer. I'm leaving on that one.
I mean, I think I'm freaking out a little bit, but I don't think I'm immediately calling the police.
What
Did
do you
this
mean
guy
you
call the police?
Why are you freaking out? You
If I have it in my car and I have like, I have 65 pounds
You
worth
making
of
one
cocaine
trip,
in
man.
my car right
You
now.
going to the crib. You going to put it to the crib. You putting it somewhere safe in the crib, and you going to figure out everything else from there. You're not going to just be driving around with like, I forgot to take the coke out the back. Like, it's been 3 days and I've left the coke in the truck.
Would you? I mean, you're walking. You look on the beach, like there's 65 pounds of cocaine on the ground, like wrapped up, and you're like, are you afraid that like somebody is around the corner of like there to pick that up? I would be like, oh my, okay, all right, I'm putting it in my car.
I'm pretty sure
like,
it didn't wash up on shore just like in a regular ass package that was like, that's 65 pounds of cocaine.
It says cocaine.
It says
on the
cocaine. I'm pretty sure it was something that like appeared, and then he looked into it. It was like, oh, there's cocaine in here. So if that's the case, you taking this shit to the car, the whatever.
And you can also
fucking
be like,
thing.
I don't know, I found it on the beach. I haven't looked to see what it is yet. Oh my god, it's cocaine.
That's the white privilege
Oh
shit
my
right
God,
there.
it's
That you
cocaine.
think you can explain to a cop, like Chris said, I haven't looked into it.
I just found a 65 package. I was gonna bring it home to my kids and see
Let
if
my
they wanted to
black
do a
ass
little
like,
beach surprise.
I don't know, officer. I haven't looked back there. Officer, I haven't looked into the packaging yet. I don't know what's back there.
It's cocaine. Well, I'd like to turn it in.
Oh shit!
Are you guys taking turn-ins?
That was hilarious. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that if I find 65 pounds, fam, I'm out here, Miami Vice in my life. First of all, you're gonna know right away I'm in the coke business. I'm gonna fuck myself over because I'm buying silk everything. Letting my chest hairs breathe. You're gonna know immediately this nigga sells coke for sure. So I'm not gonna be the best coke dealer.
Somebody is like, look, I can get rid of it all for you tonight. You don't even have to think about it. You want to be connected.
I probably cut
You're
that
like-
deal though. I
you're-
probably cut the deal in the black
You're like,
market for I cut the one deal and say, yo, I give you for $750.
Yeah, that's what I try to
And
find.
this 1.5 worth. I looked it up on the internet, so they owned me. So nigga, you gotta buy it, please. But it's $750. Like, then I'm like selling it one time. Like, I'm not trying to like really get in the game all the way and be like, yeah, I got some low workers. I got motherfuckers out here moving the packs for me. It's like, no, I'm on here being like, yo, eBay. I'm posting my shit on eBay. Cocaine, 65 pounds,
wholesale.
750 racks.
So you're saying that one weekend you take a walk of you see some cocaine you sell on eBay, and now you're living life in silk robes, like pretending you're a cocaine dealer because you had one
deal?
streak of luck one weekend?
Yeah, for sure. That's
All
why
right.
I am, for sure.
You're like, how'd you get all this? Mainly cocaine.
Yeah, I really.
One deal of cocaine. I
yeah.
found it on the
And
beach.
I say it out loud when people know something's wrong. They're like, this motherfucker weird.
Okay, so Lady Gaga dognapping suspects arrested on attempted murder and robbery charges. Multiple people have been arrested for their connection to the kidnapping of Lady Gaga's two French bulldogs in the shooting of the entertainer's dog walker. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ that the suspects were arrested on a host of charges, including attempted murder and robbery on Thursday. The police obtained video of the dogs being dropped off in the alley where they were found, and the footage was used to identify the alleged dog nappers. Initially, the police thought that this crime was some sort of gang initiation. Now they think the suspects actually work for and or operate a large dog stealing ring that targets luxury dogs like French bulldogs.
What? I want to ask a couple questions. It's a high question. Know that before I ask it. Respect the fact that I'm high. How can you be like, yo, fam, we ain't even try to kill homie. Like, attempted murder, we ain't try to kill him. We was trying to hurt him, but we ain't trying to kill him. Like, is it attempted murder? It's above the waist, right? Is that how they know it's attempted murder? Yeah, but I think it used to be below the waist wasn't attempted murder. There might have been that line from a movie too. Wouldn't say it's a fact, but like, why is it automatically attempted murder?
It feels like it is attempted murder because they shot this dude in the chest, didn't they?
Yeah,
didn't they shoot him 5 times?
I didn't say his was not attempted murder.
You're just curious.
Yeah, I'm curious to how they differentiate attempted murder from like, man, you shot that person. This was a crazy assault. Yeah, they got them for attempted murder and what else?
Attempted murder and robbery.
Robbery. What? How many years are they facing? Attempted murder is gonna get you the real years. The robbery is not. Whatever.
It doesn't say how many years they're going to face. But I think it's interesting that there's a large dog stealing ring that's going around stealing
I don't believe it.
French bulldogs.
You don't know if you believe that?
I don't believe the gang
I've definitely
shit.
heard
I don't
that.
believe the gang shit. And I don't believe the large dog stealing ring. I believe we want Lady Gaga's dogs because she will pay more money to get her dogs back. I believe we must know that either from the dog walker. I think there's inside jobs in this, right? I think that you know from somebody, a lot of motherfuckers have dogs. Everybody is not obsessed with their dogs. A lot of people have dogs and they love their dogs, but everybody isn't like, I will pay $500,000.
You think Lady Gaga was targeted?
I think Lady Gaga was targeted there. Yeah. They were like, yo, she is obsessed with these dogs. If y'all want to get some bread, she will pay top dollar for these dogs.
But you don't think that conversation is
I don't think it happens with me. I don't think people are like, yo, steal Nucky and he'll pay top dollar. I think like, yo, he will give you a couple. He'll give you a couple 20s at most, and maybe like a Groupon somewhere. But like, he's not gonna like. I think she was targeted.
Well, but I also do. I've heard over and over again in LA that there have been people who are stealing French bulldogs.
But like a large ring. But yeah, but how much you really selling them for? I think you're getting way more to give her dogs back for reward than you are to sell her dogs.
Yeah, so the woman that found the dogs, remember there was a lady that found the dogs, turned them in. They said that she was arrested because they think she was in on the scheme.
Yeah, for sure.
She finally the person who turned it in, who found it tied to a light pole, was in on the scheme.
Of course,
which I believe you predicted.
Called out. Mm-hmm.
I said who would shoot people, steal dogs, and then leave them on a light pole. Doesn't happen. Yeah. If I'm gonna try to shoot a motherfucker to get the dogs from them, I'm willing to go to above and beyond to keep these dogs until I can get my bread.
But so what did they get out of
them
this?
They're stupid. They didn't get anything. What they hoped to get was the $500,000.
Did they? Or
no? Because
I kind of think that they
gave it to the other lady.
They
gave it to the other lady so she can turn them in and get the money, the reward money. And then they investigated and said, no, she's a fucking scam artist too. All of you are arrested now. That's what happened. But what they thought was going to happen was, hey, even if they get us, we have you saying, I found the dogs, like just found them. So where's my money still? So even if we got out of jail, we still got 500 racks or whatever after a while, whatever it is. But no, we found out all three of you are fucking liars. You shot somebody to try to take the dogs, and now.
Yeah. Do you think there's a big conversation about this in the celebrity dog walking community?
He probably has a Purple Heart for dog walkers. Like, they're like, oh my God, you're him. That's how they probably address him right now. Oh my God, you're him.
You're Lady Gaga's dog walker.
You're Lady Gaga's dog walker. He's like, well, now I just supervise our other dog walkers. But yeah, I was the dog walker.
It's a dangerous job.
It is. But it's a job that I would do time and time again. Every day that I relive that moment, I'm like, shoot me again and over. I
Oh my
want.
God.
No, seriously, that's not funny.
I've heard that people are stealing French bulldogs more and more. So
Yeah, I've
I'll
heard
be
that
careful.
Yeah,
out there.
but to what? I don't like. Even if you are stealing French bulldogs, the most you're getting for them on the black market is a couple thousand.
A couple thousand is a big deal to some people.
I'm saying the reward was 500,000.
Yeah. That's why you're saying that it was definitely a
It was targeted. It was like, yo, Lady Gaga's. You haven't heard about a whole bunch of other celebrities being like, hey, our Frenchies have been stolen.
And they would think that that woman would collect on it, bring them back the money.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Now you're
It's
with
pretty
me,
stupid
brother.
criminals, man.
Yeah.
Another stupid criminal.
Criminals aren't always smart. The GPA. We go back to the GPA, man. It's the low GPA.
I've been working on something about the idea of happiness. I found this article.
Oh, okay.
That was a Gallup poll, like a official poll of Americans, and it said 90% of Americans have been happy or are ranked themselves as happy or very happy. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. And I looked on the date on it, and it was February 2020. I thought that was very interesting that right before this happened, because now we are at a record low within
happiness.
people who rate themselves as happy or
Did
very
you rate
happy.
yourself? And where are these fucking ratings even happening? Like, I hate when I see shit like this. And it's like,
I mean, it's a Gallup
this many Americans rate themselves. I'm like, bitch, I'm American. I've been here for a fucking minute. Well, I don't ever know what the fuck these ratings happening.
I know.
It's like when you watch Family Feud, and they be like, we surveyed 100 people. Like, nigga, I ain't never been in that goddamn survey.
Never.
Not once have you stopped me and said, hey.
I work for Family Feud.
I work for Family Feud, and here's the question.
Oh my God, this is the moment I've been waiting for.
You're like, thank you, finally.
What would you try to be if they asked you? Would you be creative with your answers, or would
I would try to
you-
give a real good answer because I love Family Feuds. I would want the number one answer.
Oh, you would want to be part of the group that chose number one.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
See, I'm down to be a number 3.
Yeah,
number
it's because
4.
you're weird. Have you seen the
wanna
episode with
give-
Charlie?
I want to empower the weird person on camera who didn't think of the number 1 answer, but thought of this like kind of
Yeah,
weird.
but what if your answer is too weird and it's like no one else does it? There's only one of us.
One person.
One person. Remember that episode
rock.
of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when Charlie was the person? He kept being like, trust me, I know something. They're like, why do you know? And he couldn't tell them why he knew. And then finally the answer, he was like, I was surveyed.
It was always one.
Yeah, it was the one. It was one weirdo. No, I mean, yeah, like I hate when I see stuff like this. 'Cause I'm like, I want to believe you, but also, where do you get this stuff from? Where these stats
Gallup
from?
poll, so it was like that. Those are the people who go like 90% of the people stand with this candidate, and they've never been wrong before. I'm just kidding, because
I'm like, what?
Hillary Clinton, remember? Honestly, there was one question that was like, and 50% of people feel isolated, and I was like, only 50% of people feel isolated.
Do you think people are
Shouldn't it be
way?
more than 50%
Yeah, it should be
of
more than
people?
that.
Do you feel people are way more sad? After the pandemic than before.
I think we've isolated ourselves in a lot of ways where I think it's gonna kind of take time, and we have to be patient with ourselves in order to like build back into the life you once had, because it's hard to just snap back. And then I think this is what I think is interesting is you also get to ask yourself, well, what life do I want to do? Do I want to do the life I once had? Do I want to put my eggs in different baskets? Do I want to try a different thing to give me happiness?
That's why I don't want to
instead of this
answer
thing?
and sound disconnected. But part of me feels like a lot of people didn't find necessarily happiness, but they found like a breath of fresh air from the pandemic of like, okay, even though life is tough in this capacity, this allowed me to relook at things of how to live in certain ways, because society, when you can get trapped in a system. And then when the system is broken, that's when you can find yourself again a lot of times. Like you can be within a system and be like, okay, well, I'm working every day just to live the next day. That's it. So nothing in my life is really my life. It's more of the system I'm in. Now I'm going to work each day just to survive for the next day. And then when that breaks and you're like, I don't have that job anymore. And again, I'm sounding disconnected. I don't have that job anymore. I feel like a lot of people may have been like, okay, times get hard. Okay, now I got to make something out of nothing.
Yeah,
So-
or that busyness overall, like that constant. Well,
working
then I'm
for
going
you,
here,
now
then
I
I'm
can work
going
for
there.
myself. I always tell people, yeah, you can't. You know how expensive it is to like really pursue your dreams. And I think that during the pandemic, a lot of people got to at least look at their dreams and say, you know what? There's nothing else to do right now. Why would I not fucking try at least my dream? And I think there have been some big winners in doing that during the pandemic. I think a lot of people made careers out of stuff that they had dreams about and were like, well, you know what? I ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah, and I see more and more. I see more people who have also been looking at themselves and to get a sense of self, and to fucking more people are going to therapy than ever before. That's more talked about than ever before. I know people, my friends are like learning about themselves, and I don't know if that's a factor of becoming in your 30s or it being the pandemic, but I think people have a lot more time to focus on what they want to put their time into and how to kind of take a step back. Right, you look at your dreams or what you want to do in the world and figure out how to do that. So I think it's going to be an exciting time, and I think I think we're going to get a lot more happiness, but it's also going to be a stretch to get back into things. And I think that'll be like, I think everybody has to recognize that will be the case.
That's where I've been. Like, I think everyone's mentality is just different. I have my own for weird reasons. It's not even necessarily the right one, but I think everyone is trying to like figure out how to get back into things and how to get back to normal. And like, I weirdly still feel weird within the States, like about things. I feel people don't really respect stuff versus like how I feel more like overseas or like in like a different country where I'm like, oh, this is your real operation. I feel like here I still like, it's just everyone doing whatever they're doing. You don't really know what's going on. You're like, yeah, you don't have a mask on. Are you vaccinated? I don't know. Yeah, you don't have a mask on. You look like you are not vaccinated because Make America Great hat. So it's still throwing me off. Like, it's a whole bunch of different stuff going on in different walks where it's like we're not on one accord as a country. So it makes it really hard to kind of gauge anything. So it's like, I don't know. For me, I have friends who are doing a whole bunch of stuff and I want to. And I'm like, that looks fucking fun. It looks cool. It looks this. But I've still been struggling to do so just because I'm like, I don't know. I don't fucking know anything. Still don't know the next thing. I know that the vaccination should make us feel like blah, blah, blah. Or does it mean that we don't get it? I don't think it does mean we don't get it. I think it just fights it off like it would. Like with the flu vaccination, there's just a lot of questions. And I'm like, with this thing that's still being expedited and done so quickly, I just be in my little own head of like, I don't know. I don't fucking know what's going on. But I also know that I encourage those to get vaccinated, whoever gets vaccinated for sure.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's also just a question of how you want to spend your time now that you've like reset to zero. And I think that's a cool thing for everybody to reflect on.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Are you going to finally be that dancer you wanted to be?
I'm going to just do dance lessons.
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
good,
time.
dude.
Tap.
What dance are you going to do?
Jazz.
No, you know what to say right now. Hip hop.
Hip hop?
Yeah. I mean, this is
I'm going to be a huge TikTok.
What was that video? This is hip hop.
I'm going to be a TikTok sensation.
The lady, that's horrible. She said, this is hip hop.
Let me know if you think I'm a weirdo that I am into this murder stuff. I'm pretty sure a lot of people like this murder stuff.
What do you mean into this murder stuff?
Like, you guys made me feel like I was a murderer because I listened to murder content.
No, we are not murder shame watching.
We don't think you're a murderer. We just know that most murderers are white. So we looked at you a little weird when you said all this stuff. We were like, you guys are really known for this. Be careful in which, box you put yourself in. We're more of like, it's the difference between killers and murderers.
Would most murderers be white?
I don't know.
I feel like it's
documented murderers, like murderers, they're killers of like, oh, that person shot somebody. That happened. That was a real thing. That happened. Somebody got shot. But like murderers, when you watch like the forensic files of niggas that put bitches in acid, yeah, they be white, fam. They only be white. We don't never go that hard.
I will tell you, women who kill are majority white.
Women that kill?
When you watch women that kill,
yeah,
it's usually a white woman. Also, I don't know if that's totally true.
I like the stats.
I guess when I'm listening to murder podcasts, I do.
Have you ever heard of a black murder podcast?
I can't think of like
a short episode. Nigga got mad. He was pulled up. went bad. That's it for this week of the Murder Podcast in the Hood. Shit went left, nigga. Versus like the Murder Podcast was like Karen was dating Daryl for quite some time. They met in an accounting business. And then it goes into like him being married and her, you know, wanting to be with him and him promising her that he'd be with her one day if she just like slowed down and let him figure things out. And then she was like, now or never. And then he murdered his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was the women who kill him, but he winds up murdering his wife.
Either way it goes.
Or she murders, he convinces her to murder his wife. There's a lot of terrible murder that happens out there.
And they're like trash and they're sloppy and they always like try to go cash their insurance check a day after. And you're always like, dude, your wife was murdered yesterday. You can't show up tomorrow and be like, that money that you owe me from the dead chick? Yeah, I want it. Yeah.
And the police still can't figure it out. They're like, well, I guess he did cash a check the next day, but
I would probably want to get away too.
He does know my brother. So he's probably cool. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week for Wine and Weed. Go subscribe to our channel. And
we almost at 100,000. Y'all got to push it a little harder, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm wearing these shorts for y'all. Just know this ain't for myself. These shorts was worn for y'all if you watching. So y'all got to push a little harder on YouTube. Get us to the 100 racks.
Congratulations on the surgery, too. I know you wanted to show it off.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
The shorts.
25,000 well paid. Zip it up.
Zip it out.
Bye.
See you next week.